Good morning, everyone. We appreciate you guys joining the call this month. Hopefully you guys are having a good month so far. And as we get ready to get real into summertime, I think America, we tend to view this coming holiday weekend as the start of summer. So hopefully everyone, if you are working this weekend or into the next week, make sure you're being extra vigilant with all the people traveling, starting probably Thursday, Friday, making their way somewhere to spend the holidays. So it will be great to report back that there will be no accidents and no incidents like that. And that'll be a good accomplishment because of the amount of people that tend to get on the roads these holiday weekends. So, but again, we thank you guys for joining. We're going to talk, a few things about the summer months, also kind of leading into the challenges of not just this weekend, but working in the summertime in regards to the highways and a lot of people traveling, a lot more children traveling with families and stuff like that. It should get you even more vigilant, not wanting to get involved in any incidents or accidents that could affect your life as well as affect anyone else's. So we're going to talk about a few topics, show a couple videos, and then if you guys have any questions, like always, just unmute yourself, and then we'll try our best to answer any questions you may have, or if you like to participate and share any best practices. But again, we thank you guys for joining. All right, David.
Good morning. I was going to start off with the vacation thing, but Aaron beat me to it. He took about half of what I was going to say, but that's okay. Repeat is not going to hurt. Holidays are coming up in the summer. School's going to be out. There's going to be a lot of people on the road for vacations because a lot of them don't want to do airlines, and the sale of motorhomes has almost tripled since COVID because people were using their travel trailers and their fifth wheels to go on vacation, to go here and there. So you're going to have those additional vehicles on the road, but there's also going to be a lot of young kids on the road traveling in the cars that they're going to be in school. They're going to be going around the country doing different things. Those are the people that you really have to pay attention to because they're not professionals. They don't know really. Most people really don't know how to drive, as my daughter has pointed out to me many times, because I've taught her how to drive. She says 90% of the people here don't know how to drive, meaning they're not aware, they're not paying attention, they are looking at their phones, they're doing all kinds of other things besides driving, okay? They're not paying attention to other people. So you have to then be their safety valve. Make sure that they know make sure that you know that you're paying attention to what they're doing, and when they screw up.
Sorry, guys, 1 second. I think he accidentally dropped. Lost you. Yeah.
What happened?
I don't know. The call dropped, but you're back on.
Okay, where did I leave off?
You had just talked about the fifth wheels and your daughter driving. You're teaching her how to drive and seeing the importance of not distracted driving. Yep, we're here.
Okay, it faded a little bit. Okay. So, like I said, though, you're going to have all these people out on the road, young people in particular that should be in school or not in school. My daughter's pointed out to me that most of the people on the road, 90%, she says, don't know how to drive, meaning they're not paying attention. They're doing other things. They're not situationally aware. A lot of them don't even know the rules of the road. They're doing things that are illegal. And you need to know that you can protect yourself against them by being defensive, by paying attention to what they're not doing. Okay, that's how you protect yourself. Now, My drivers have a screen, a mesh screen that goes on their driver window. It has rubber stickers so they can put it on the window or take it off to protect themselves from the sun coming through the window, so they don't get you can get overheated, and actually believe it or not, a cause for cancer to have the sun beating on your left arm all the time. A lot of people call that a trucker's tan, where the left arm is always because they've been.
Sorry, I don't know if I'm hitting a dead spot here in the office or what.
Did it drop again?
Yeah, I don't know if that's me or you, but
It's probably where I am. I'm in the parking lot. You know what? Can you hold off for a couple of minutes? I'm going to move up to some place where the signal is better.
Okay, I'll show this. Got a couple videos that kind of want to tie into this too. I'll show that in the meantime.
Okay. Yeah. All right.
Well, you find the video as well, Aaron. I was thinking after I was reviewing all the information we're gonna present it, that RVs, it's another big issue that sometimes we see out there because they take risky behavior. So we need to be aware of those because that increases in summertime as well.
Simple hearing hack
I agree.
can use to improve their hearing almost overnight. Did you?
I agree because one, a lot of times these guys don't have the licenses or training to even drive those motorhomes and fifth wheels. Some of them have just regular Class C licenses, so they're pulling, long loads, and they're pulling, the long fifth wheel, or they're driving an RV. Plus, they have a vehicle on the back end, and they're not as trained and equipped to be able to handle that kind of stuff. So you also got to be very vigilant when especially on holiday weekends, and trying to stay far away from those guys. I'm gonna show this video that Xenia sent about road rage, and it kind of ties into this weekend. Let me start it up here.
With breaking news here at 6 o'clock, tension between two drivers on 275 in Anderson Township ending with a man dead and the other saying that he stared down the barrel of a gun. Good evening, I'm Mike Dardis.
Thanks for joining us at 6 o'clock. I'm Cherie Palolo. So it's a situation that sent a car up in flames here and brought traffic along 275 to a standstill for about 6 hours today. And that's where we find WLWT News Flash Todd Dykes with more on how this happened. Todd?
Hi, Cherie. Yeah, fortunately, traffic rolling once again on westbound 275 near Kellogg Avenue, but it came to a screeching halt when a car crossed the median, slammed into a crane, causing a deadly fire.
Oh my God, it literally, like a semi truck literally smacked his car, man. In the car going flames. Like the car was in flames. It was bad.
Okay.
Trenton Montgomery, seen here talking to a Hamilton County Sheriff's deputy, tells me he's still trying to make sense of what happened on 275 around 10 this morning. Too shaken to go on camera, Montgomery told a 911 dispatcher that a man in another car aggressively cut him off and then pointed a gun at him while they were driving on the eastbound side of the highway.
Oh my God, bro.
Okay, you said he was chasing you with a gun before he crashed?
Yeah, and then he tried to cut me off and ended up hitting the front of my car, and then he spun out and then went into oncoming traffic.
The driver, who Montgomery says had a gun, ended up crashing into a truck with a crane on it on westbound 275 between Kellogg Avenue and 5 Mile. What Montgomery told me mirrors what he told investigators.
An additional call from a Trent Montgomery in a silver Tiburon that was advised he was being chased by a subject in a blue Toyota Corolla, threatening the complainant with a firearm, and then he went into oncoming traffic.
We're told the driver of that car died when his vehicle burst into flames. It appears the truck driver he hit will be okay. Investigators had the highway's westbound lanes closed for almost 6 hours, opening up just before the evening rush. Now, deputies have not yet released the name of the man who died. They're waiting to do so until they notify that man's family. Reporting live tonight in Anderson Township, Todd Dykes, WLWT News 5.
Todd, I know you were able to talk with Trenton just after he pulled off the highway. This had to be a terrifying situation for him. What did he say triggered all of this?
Yeah, you know, Sheree, he told me he has no idea. Said he was just on his way from one job site to another when all this went down. He was very shaken up, as you can imagine. At one point, even saying he was trying to figure out a way to turn around and get back to the other side of the highway because he knew the situation was, in his words, really bad. Sheree?
All right, Todd Dykes leading the way on that breaking news for us tonight. Todd, thanks for the update.
All right. Let me go switch back over to the agenda.
Yeah, Aaron, I think the importance of this video is that the truck driver was in the other side of the road, and because of a situation between two cars, that car ended up hitting that trailer. So it is for us to be aware that not necessarily needs to happen, the road rage needs to happen with us, but we can suffer the consequences of other people's poor judgment.
Absolutely. I agree. And, you know, that just brings more light to the fact that we have to ensure that our eyes are constantly moving and aware of our lane presence and space cushion around the vehicle, trying to anticipate these types of things. Sometimes you just can't, you know, you can't avoid it. But at the same time, if you're able to foresee and looking around as much as you can and not just being fixed on the vehicle in front of you, your eyes fixed, that these types of things help with avoiding these situations out there. Trying to stay focused while you're driving. You're on long stretches of highway where, you know, maybe it's just trees and not a lot going on around you. You can kind of start zoning out and daydreaming a little bit. So finding ways to keep yourself engaged and aware of constantly what's going on around you is so important. We didn't catch David, but I know he was the last portion that he was mentioned before the call dropped. In regards to just summer heat, he was talking about having your arm out the window and how it exposes you or greater risk of you know, skin cancer or some form of fashion like that, because just the constant heat. So yeah, be vigilant. You know, obviously you got to stay hydrated. You know, a lot of times during the summer, you know, even to stay awake, you try to drink a lot of sodas and coffee and a lot of sugary things. Definitely not good for the body in regards to hydration. And like we've always kind of mentioned, you know, obviously it's very hot and humid in Florida, just like it is here in California in the summer, certain parts. Drinking enough water the previous day helps, you know, the current day, and just kind of starting that pattern and that routine of having enough fluids in you to be able to stay hydrated so you don't have a situation where you heat exhaustion. It happens a lot in California, you know, where drivers, especially if they're in and out of the truck constantly, or, you know, they don't take care of themselves, you know, they're passing out and having heat strokes because of not properly hydrating. The food you eat is important as well, just trying to, you know, have a balanced diet, and that's important as well. There's one other video we want to show. But first, I want to talk about safety measures for cargo theft. This is always something that pops up in the summertime as well, just because there's an increased amount of just regular people out on the roads, and then they're stopping at the same gas stations and stuff like that, where you're stopping, and, you know, they tend to target large vehicles like trucks that have a set of doubles. You go inside to take a shower, you go inside to, you know, buy some food or something, and you park in a manner which it makes it easily accessible to them. So you want to make sure that you always lock your tractor up. You don't want them stealing your stuff inside the tractor. But then also just the responsibility that we have as drivers to ensure that the cargo that we're hauling, which are packages for FedEx, that we keep them secure and we keep them locked all the time. When you get back to your truck, you want to make sure that the seals are still there. You want to make sure nobody tampered with, you know, your load while you were inside. So always do that little quick walk around when you come back from whether it's somewhere to eat or even at a fuel station. Always be on alert. You see something suspicious, you know, you should always be kind of aware of those types of things, and maybe even leave and not leave your tractor and trailer there.
Aaron,
Yes, sir.
can I interrupt for a second?
Yep.
Yeah, I had a driver 2 months ago that had the experience where he was in the fuel island and went in to get his receipt, came back out. Somebody had pulled the pin on the dolly while he was inside. But the walk around that he did just before he got back in the truck, he found it.
Wow. Yeah, you gotta be vigilant because you never know. People, maybe it's other drivers out there messing with other drivers and stuff like that. I think it's playful games. People have their motivations for whatever reason to try and, do harm to other people, and they might think it's a joke or something innocent when in actuality, you're messing with people's lives. So you also gotta, keep an eye out for that kind of stuff. Don't just assume that everyone is got the right intentions. So make sure you park in a well-lit area if you can, especially if you're going to be away from the vehicle for, any long period of time. Take your keys with you, of course, and just always be vigilant. So doing this last video we're going to show here. Let me share my screen again.
You better get back in that car. You better get back in that car. What you say? You say you got in that car. Next time you start saying, I'll shoot you in your face. Act like you want something. I'll choke the life out you. You ain't no county.
So it's an interesting article, a video and article on just
politicians are pushing a drastic
advertising on the effects of road rage. Obviously, we only saw the portion where they actually are engaging with each other, but I can only imagine what the lead up to this video was. It was the driver partly to blame and it kind of enticing this type of exchange. Obviously, there's crazy people out there in society that do crazy things. So engaging in, unprofessional behavior can only lead to these types of things that could happen. So you want to make sure that the road rage thing, you gotta just let it go. You gotta have a short memory when it comes to that type of stuff. I understand the public tends to, drive erratic and they make bad decisions, but at the same time, as professionals, we got to make sure that we're not engaging in that type of behavior because it can get bad for not only the person that initiated, but then the driver as well. With the type of vehicle, an 80,000-pound truck, messing around on the freeway with another car can lead to a big disaster for something that started very small and it could have just been avoided, in terms of just the interaction itself. So yeah, road rage, it all kind of ties into this weekend. And then as we go into the summer months, just make sure that, we're well engaged and we're focused on the job at hand. All right.
Yeah, what I noticed also, Aaron, it's that I don't know if the truck driver opened the door to listen to the guy or if the guy opened the door. Either or, you don't open the door to anyone. And if they are upset, of course, you will not open the door and invite them to go in your vehicle. Or you have always to have your door locked so no one can open that door when you're stopped. So I think that those two things is what I also can get from that video as well, because either or it's wrong or things that you don't do for your safety. If someone approaches you and that person is very upset, call the police, but don't open the door to that person.
Absolutely. I agree 100%. All right, I think we're done. You got to do the FedEx updates, or Dave, you got something else?
Yeah, we're going to add to this a little bit. A month ago, my son and I are coming back from the terminal to the house. We live like 90 miles from the terminal, and we had a guy come up alongside of us. We were in there's a lane in California where it's called a diamond lane, where only people where there's 2 or more people in the truck or car can be. Okay, but we're driving. We switched from one highway, crossed over and into the other highway, and went into the diamond lane. A few minutes later, we had a car pull up alongside of us, a Toyota, and the guy rolled down his window and started yelling. We couldn't figure out why is this guy yelling, but basically we kind of ignored him. I didn't want to be aggressive towards him or do anything to him. We just drove, right? So he wanted me to roll the window down, and I wasn't going to do that because I don't know what he was going to do. So a little bit later, he took a cup of coffee and threw it at the truck, and it bounced across the top and everything. So we just decided we were going to slow down and let this guy go. What he did was he pulled in front of us halfway into the lane and brake checked us. Now, at that point, we could not get out of that lane because of traffic, so we had to avoid keeping him from being able to get in front of us again. So what he did was he came up behind us on the side, and he was trying to knock us off the road because when he pulled up again, the tire marks from my son's car, the truck, were on the side of his car, and his wife was hanging halfway out the window with a camera, with a phone, shooting us and shooting a picture of us, right? She's hanging out the driver window, doing this. So what we did was we got on the phone and we called the CHP. At some point, we pulled over, not close to them, but pulled over far enough away so that he got out of the car. I yelled at him to get back in his car. Now the CHP on 911 heard me yelling at him to get back in his car. So as he tried to come, my son backed up his car to keep him from running. So now the CHP comes and he says that we cut him off. Now I don't know where we cut him off. We just won a national safety awards. My son is a safety manager. So I don't know why he would think that, but he said we cut him off. But he brake checked us. It turns out that he had his baby in the back seat of that car, a little Toyota, and we had a Ford F-150 that was fully loaded. Now, how crazy is that? Those are the kinds of things you really need to be paying attention to and worry about out here when you're out here. Okay, that was just an example of what road rage can be. Now, we didn't do anything to him. He wasn't cut off. He didn't do anything, but he felt like he was. And why would you be crazy enough to brake check a big truck in a little car with your baby in the backseat?
That's mind blowing. That's a good example, good story for us we could definitely draw some information from that. That's people will risk their lives and other people's lives for ridiculous reasons. All right, Zane, you want to go over any FedEx updates for your team?
I'm gonna let Wilhelm do his part because we've been carrying it for a couple of weeks because we haven't had time. I will invite everybody to look at the updates. Please, the FedEx updates in Ocala and in Orlando, those are based on meetings that we have with them. So Wilhelm, are you ready? Can you show the agenda, Aaron?
I think
I'm ready.
Oh, I didn't share it.
Yep.
There we go.
Give me 1 minute. I'm good. Can you guys hear me?
Yes.
Yes.
I'm having. Hello.
Yeah, we can hear you.
All right. FedEx update. Oh, not the FedEx update. All right. So starting the house rules, remember that always had both change on our trucks, and you have a cattle pin also put it on the hood. Dollies, please remember when you get to the yard, if you can return it to the proper place. That we can avoid more conflicts with them. Also, like I say, make sure that we double check our work. Position the fifth wheel, the lock pins. If you have any trailer issues, take it to the shop so they can get it properly fixed. That way we have avoid problems, especially now that we will have the roadside inspection going on. So safety, safety, safety. Make sure that you check the registrations on the trailers and on the tractor and the trailers. And for last, we want to congratulations Silver Valley that she was awarded on the newspaper in Cerro Salanca for women that do truck driving in the States. So congratulations on that, Silver Valley. And just trying to keep you guys safe. So that would be it for me.
All right, Dean, anything else?
That'll be it.
Yeah, thank you so much for, we didn't hear any issue for the roadside inspection, that international roadside inspection that went through last week. So thank you so much for paying attention to your tractor. You didn't call the attention to any highway patrol. Kudos for that. Thank you so much.
All right, thank you, everyone. Take care.